Hello BookTube, my name is Elizabeth and welcome to Book Babble. Today I'm going to be doing my weekly wrap-up for October week 3. I read 2 books this week and I'm in the middle of reading another one, so let's just get started. The first book that I finished reading this week was The Storm, which is by Virginia Bergen, and that is the sequel to H2O by Virginia Bergen. I really liked The Storm. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I did not like it as much as I liked H2O. But it was still really, really good. I'm hoping that there's going to be a third book in this series, but I haven't heard anything about that because the end kind of ended on like a cliffhanger. Not a lot of stuff was resolved, but it's an apocalypse book, so I feel like if everything at the end was fixed and perfect and happy, it just wouldn't be right to the story. It wouldn't be true to the story, so I don't know. I kind of want more from this series, and I hope that there's a third book, but it just, from the way that the book sounded like it was ending, it just didn't feel like there was going to be a third one, but I guess we'll see. I really enjoyed this. I'm like super behind on my reviews this week on my blog, but I will be doing like a whole bunch today and tomorrow, so look forward to my full review on that later on this week. And the next book that I finished was These Shallow Graves by Jennifer Donnelly, and this I knew was like a mystery book, and I figured it would kind of be like creepy and scary. It wasn't at all. It was more of just a mystery, and I really liked it because it was set in the 1890s, and I did not know that until starting the book. And I'm a huge history buff, so I really like seeing, different eras in young adult books and not just modern day or, different fantasy worlds or whatever. Seeing our historical past is actually really cool portrayed in a young adult book, and I really enjoyed it. The mystery aspect of it was really, really cool, and I really liked how it got solved, but a few of the pieces to the puzzle just seemed like they were too perfect. Like, overall it made sense and I really liked the way that it worked out, but there were just 1 or 2 pieces to it that just like, that's stretching it a bit, and it's just, it's too much of a coincidence, if that makes sense. But overall, I really liked it. I think, again, I gave this a 3.5 out of 5 stars. And something else that the writing style was good, but there was a specific aspect that Jennifer Donnelly, how she writes, that just doesn't flow well with me. And what she does is that she starts off with a scene. And so, for example, like, the main character and another person are walking down the street and they're talking and blah, 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 and stuff happens. And then the scene ends and she cuts to a different scene, main character in her bedroom, talking about something completely different, which is fine. But then the main character is like, oh, I remember from 2 days ago, this happened, and it was from the scene that was just right before it. And it just, like, I don't like the way that that flowed. I can see how maybe some people could like that, but it just wasn't. It just didn't make it. I just didn't like it because it's like, follow the sequence of events in the way that they happened and then just leave it at that. It just felt like there were a few parts that just jumped around too much, and I didn't like that about it, which is why I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars, 3.5 out of 5 stars, I'm sorry. But it really was a good book, and I didn't guess the ending, which is really rare for me. In a mystery novel, I, kind of had inclinations that it might end that way, but I was like, no, you know what I mean? So it was still a bit of a twist for me. I really liked the ending, and again, which is really rare for me with a mystery novel, and I really liked the setting, and the only thing that didn't really make a lot of sense for me was the writing style. But other than that, I really enjoyed it. It's a great book. Even though it's not technically creepy or scary, I think it's a great book for October because it's got that dark kind of feel to it, and I really enjoyed it. And the book that I'm reading right now is called The Dead House, and this is by Dawn Kurtajic. And this is supposed to be another October release that's kind of creepy, scary. I realize that it's more of like a psychological thriller. And then I like it so far. I'm on page 64 of 400 pages. So I just started it like yesterday, and I do like it. But for me personally, and this is definitely not going to be something that relates to probably hardly anybody, is I just got done reading Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, and if you know, that book is written in forms of like files and classified documents and just like, not written in the normal like page by page, chapter by chapter kind of format. And this book is written in pretty much the same way. It's written in like diary entries and like post-it notes and emails and stuff like that. And so for me personally, because I just got done reading Illuminae, like that's cool for one book, but I literally got done with Illuminae like a couple of weeks ago, and so soon after reading another book that's like this, I just don't like it. But, you know, and that's just me. I like the format by itself, but reading one book like that and then another one like that back to back pretty much is just too much for me. I really like my regular novel format and not like all these different papers and files and like entries and just different weird stuff, you know what I mean? So, you know, that's just, like I said, really personal. It's not going to affect probably hardly anybody but me unless you read Illuminae and then this. But, yeah, so I'm liking it so far. But I guess we'll see if I keep enjoying it. I don't know. I like the storyline for sure. I just don't like the way that the book is set up that much. But that is basically it for my weekly wrap up, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.